So for my setup, I have my piece of, my piece has all my line work done. I have some water here. Okay, I have my palette, I have some paper towels, and I have a paintbrush. Okay, watercolor works with water. Okay, obviously. So to activate, can everybody look up here, please? So to activate my watercolor, I have to put a little water on the palette. I don't want you to use the color right from the pan. I want you to mix to get like new kinds of colors. So I'm going to grab a little water. I'm going to activate my paint, and I'm going to just kind of make a little pile of paint over here. So I'm going to grab my paint, and I'm kind of grabbing it and moving it over here. So I'm going to do cool colors for this piece. I did warm last period. Okay, so I have a little, so what? You can do whatever you want, but wait for the directions, please. Okay, so now I have this purple, and I think I want it to be like more of a blue purple, so I'm gonna add a little bit of blue to this. Okay, a little bit of blue. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna take water and a little bit of paint that I just mixed, and I'm gonna decide where I want to start. I think I'm gonna start in this piece right up here. Okay, you don't want to have a puddle of water. Okay, you don't want a puddle. So I'm going to just kind of lay my water in there with a little bit of paint, and I'm going to kind of start to drag that water around. Okay, I'm just dragging the water around. I'm going to grab a little bit more water on my brush, a little bit more paint. Okay, and I'm dragging the water. A nice wash of color. Now, since this area is now wet with paint, what I can do is I can do what's called the wet in wet technique, which is I can go in here and maybe grab a little bit of straight purple, and then I can just add some dots of color and let it kind of bleed out, almost like tie-dye. Guys, listen, please. Okay, so I let that color kind of bleed out like tie-dye. Okay, again, I don't want it to be a puddle. Okay, and I don't want it to be too dark. See, I went too dark just now, but I can grab a little bit of water, just kind of pull that paint around. Okay, so I have this like blend of like purple, blue. Okay, so I can go and I can do my next one. I want to balance everything out, so maybe I'll do this big shape over here. Okay, so I'm going to grab a little water. Not, my brush shouldn't be like sloppy wet, but I'm going to just have a little bit of water on here. It shouldn't be sloppy. Okay, and I'm going to start. Then you're going to have a big mass of water on your piece, and it's going to look like a mud puddle. Okay, so try not to have excess water, and then also it'll bleed through your paper and ruin your paper. Okay, so I'm just doing nice areas of color, trying to balance out where I'm adding my color. So I just have this one color I'm starting with, this like blue purple. Okay, and then I can go in and maybe mix like a blue green is my next color. So I'm going to add that in a couple areas, but I'm trying to balance out where I'm putting all this color. Okay, so you guys can go. Remember, you're picking analogous colors, so colors next to each other in the color wheel. Okay, you are mixing. You're not taking straight from the pan. Okay, and it shouldn't be a puddle on your paper. You're trying to be controlled with your water.